Welcome to today's lesson, where we journey back to the first century to explore the life of Christian believers in Ephesus, a thriving city filled with both opportunity and danger. Ephesus was one of the most important cities in the Roman Empire, known for its bustling trade, grand architecture, and a vibrant cultural life. But for the early Christian community, it was also a place of significant challenge and persecution. In the early days of the church, Christians in Ephesus often met in secret, gathering in private homes to worship, share meals, and study the teachings of Jesus and the apostles. These gatherings were intimate and filled with a deep sense of community, but they were also dangerous. The city of Ephesus was dominated by the worship of pagan gods, particularly the goddess Artemis, whose temple was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The Imperial cult, which demanded the worship of the Roman emperor as God, also held significant power. For Christians, refusing to participate in these widespread religious practices meant risking social ostracism, economic hardship, and even violent persecution. For many Christian believers, persecution began with exclusion from public life. Those who refused to participate in pagan rituals or worship the emperor often found themselves cut off from the social and economic networks that were vital for survival. In a society where religious observances was deeply intertwined with civic duty, Christians who refused to honor the gods of the city were seen as subversive and even traitorous. This could lead to fines, imprisonment, or worse. One of the most famous examples of this persecution occurred right here in Ephesus. The Apostle Paul, during his mission to spread the gospel, faced fierce opposition from those who saw his message as a threat to their livelihoods and beliefs. The silversmiths, who made shrines of Artemis, led by a man named Demetrius, saw growing Christian movement as a direct threat to their trade. They incited a riot, accusing Paul and his followers of dishonoring the goddess Artemis and undermining the city's religious and economic foundation. This incident reveals the intense pressure Christians faced from various pagan cults in Ephesus. Yet, despite the danger, the Christian faith continued to spread, driven by the believers' unwavering commitment to the teachings of Jesus. Persecution, rather than silencing the early Christians, often had the opposite effect. The courage and resilience of these believers in the face of adversity drew others to the faith, curious about a belief system so powerful that its followers would risk everything for it. For the early Christians in Ephesus, the hardships they endured were not in vain. Their faithfulness laid the foundation for the spread of the gospel throughout Asia Minor and beyond, demonstrating that even in the face of persecution, the message of Christ could not be contained. As we reflect on the lives of these early believers, we're reminded that the challenges they faced and the sacrifices they made were instrumental in the growth of Christianity. Their story is one of courage, resilience, and unshakable faith.